The advocates in this room have responded to over 18,000 calls to the helpline in the last year. We should thank them all.
Victim advocates, survivors, and legislators gathered at the State House on Thursday to raise awareness of the work to end domestic violence and to honor the victims of domestic violence homicides in Maine. The event was hosted by the Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence. The group took the opportunity to highlight two pieces of legislation. First, LD 666, which aims to invest $2.5 million in annual funding, which would provide ongoing funds for certified domestic violence intervention programs.
These programs have historically relied almost exclusively on participant fees, and without proper and continued investment, we risk losing these programs.
And LD 875, which would increase funding for essential services for victims of domestic violence by $4 million annually.
Funding for domestic violence services is homicide prevention. It is ultimately cost savings, and it is a moral responsibility our state has to come to the most vulnerable in our communities.
According to the latest biennial report of the Maine Domestic Abuse Homicide Review Panel, more than half of the state's homicides last year were due to domestic abuse. In 2023, that number was 28%. In 2024, it was 44%.
Maine's budget priorities must reflect our commitment to building a safer and more equitable community for us all.
On a cold November night 18 years ago, I barely escaped domestic violence, running from my home barefoot with the baby. 18 years ago, I stood in this very building to stand before the Appropriations Committee and plead lawmakers not to cut funding to domestic violence services. Coming full circle today, I stand before you again. But now with an education, my daughter and I are living proof of that return on investment.
At the State House, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.